when you step on stage to be a speaker, it's the same concept. The execution is just different in front of a lens, but that's where you have to just move into that embodied version of yourself. That's the CEO celebrity style of you, but that's still you.
Welcome to the Earn Your Happy podcast. I'm Lori Harder, founder of Light Pink, best-selling author, 3-time fitness world champion, and I'm a crazy, multi-passionate entrepreneur. My journey has taken me everywhere, from being a broke waitress, barista, retail associate, and personal trainer with massive anxiety and no belief in myself, to later becoming a multi-millionaire in love with my life. In 2007, my husband and I lost everything. We found ourselves hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt at rock bottom. We had no ideas, and I had no education to fall back on. This is when I found personal development and learned everything I could about business, not by choice, but because I realized no one was coming to save me. The conversations on this podcast are going to let you know that you're not alone and that we all feel like we don't know what we're doing. We're going to give you the tools to help you face your fears, take action, start your business, and grow those massive dreams that are keeping you up at night. It's time to create a life that you can't hide from and put so much on the line that your higher self is forced to come out. You're going to stop waiting for someone to approve of you, and you're going to anoint yourself. Because I'm obsessed about building businesses that give women a platform, I want to feature you. So if you text the word podcast to 310-496-8363, you can get your questions answered on our Q&A segment along with a shout out. And if you rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, we're choosing someone every month to get coached and featured on our show. It just might be you. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I am so excited to be sitting here with Kellsie Moore, and she is a part of my newer episodes where I actually get to coach you guys. And I don't really even know if it's just coaching. It really was about me wanting to start a platform in a spot for all of these epic women who are in my network that really need to be heard and that really have a voice, have this awesome business that you guys not only get to listen to the podcast and get great wisdom from people who've been there for a long time, but also people who are just like doing the do right now. Like they are in scaling mode. You know, maybe they had this great idea and it's been implemented for a little while, or maybe it's been around for a long time and now they're ready to just move even more. And I just wanted to share stories, like as many stories as I possibly could, because I believe that when you can spot yourself in someone else's story, that's how we all get permission. So that's where this came from, Kellsie. And I'm so excited that you essentially said, hey, I really want to be on this and send us your story and all of the things. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes. Oh my God. It is a genuine honor and delight and pleasure to be here. Thank you. I love this. I am in very much the climb right now. And it is just, it's a lot. It really is. So I am extremely grateful to get any, feedback and insight and direction from somebody who's been there and done that in such a powerful way that I just really admire. So I am so excited. Thank you for having me.
Yay. And I wish this was video because she just looks so good today.
Thank you.
Her lashes are on point, you guys. So great. Okay. So instead of me reading your bio, I think this is like the best opportunity ever for you to tell everybody, to tell myself about your business and why you started it in like 3 minutes or less. I know it like gets to that, those places where they're always like, hey, you really need to learn how to tell your elevator pitch. And you're like, no, I don't. And then you realize, oh yeah, that's why.
I kind of do.
Okay,
brevity's
tell me all about it.
Brevity's not my jam. So here we go. No, I appreciate it though. I love the comment about video because I am actually the video presence coach for entrepreneurs. That is really my specialty. That's what I help people do, is to show up with the conviction and the certainty and their voice and their message so that they can show up on camera specifically, because that's the easiest way to connect with people online in a way where you really feel like, I actually recognize this person. I know them. And you get to build that relationship super, super fast, just faster than anything else. So I help other entrepreneurs tell their story, connect it to their offers, and be able to show up in that way that's very authentic and powerful and compelling. And the quick version of how I got there was when after graduating school, I took my first job working in corrections and went through a very dark depression, working as a case manager in an adult male correctional facility.
Wow.
And it woke me up to wanting to do something else with my life. And that's really when I discovered acting. And actually over the last 5 years have worked as a professional actress in multiple regions, gained a lot of training and insight from that, while at the same time building up an online business I started in mindset, personal development, saved me, saved my soul. I mean, it was everything, and started to create that transformation for me on the inside. And that's when really in 2019 is when I had that huge merge of all of these things have to come together. I want to work with, I just completely love entrepreneurs. I want to help apply these film techniques of becoming your best version on camera in their businesses and really helping them do that. So that's kind of how I got to here.
You nailed it, by the way.
Thank you.
So good. Oh my gosh. No, that gave me the entire picture. So I love this so much because people might be like, wow, that's such a pivot. But sometimes I think we're drawn to certain things because it is acting is it is a way to step into another version of yourself or another version of something other than how you're feeling. And I think it's so powerful because I can tell you anytime that I've ever gone on a stage, I have to call on a different version of me because if I took the version of me up there that actually was what I was feeling, and some people might be like, well, that's not authentic then. Trust me,
it is.
My authentic scared version is not the version that people want to learn from. So it is, I love that I can only imagine using the personas and getting people into these different personas. And there's something really powerful about that, being able to step into something else, in front of people for nerves and all of the other things. I could totally talk to you all day about that.
I love it.
And how powerful that is for people's businesses that you do. So not only do you do this for people who want to be on camera, but tell me a little bit about this could also be for other people who just want to step into this higher version of themselves, in general. Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, the way we express it is through the medium of camera because the lens is just so prevalent and necessary especially for business right now. But I love what you said, when you step on stage to be a speaker, it's the same concept. The execution is just different in front of a lens, but that's where you have to just move into that embodied version of yourself. That's the CEO celebrity style of you, but that's still you. I mean, that doesn't mean glam. It doesn't mean makeup and expensive studio equipment. No, it just means with conviction to your message, to what you have to offer, and showing up as the person who believes with certainty in their solution and what they're providing for other people, versus the version of us that's oh shit, I don't belong here. Never mind. I take it back. I'm leaving, because we all have that. And it's such a overwhelming emotion at times that if we show up, it's one thing if we're doing a vulnerable share, and not in the cheesy sense or whatever that we sometimes see, but a genuine wow, okay, this is a struggle I'm having right now, something I want to share. But if we can show up in that version of ourselves that says, I know the value and the benefit of what I'm doing, that's going to be the piece of it that's making it authentic and that's genuine.
That is so good. Okay. So who is your ideal person that you help? And what do you help get them to?
I love my clients. I have the best clients. They're primarily, but not all, female entrepreneurs that are in it, that are really working on it. They have a business and an offer, but they're not just, I have a lot that are online coaches, but not just online. It's also hairstylists, realtors, stage speakers, and people who are kind of making that growth step online where they know they want to be building on social media, use their website, Instagram or YouTube or whatever, to start getting more content out there to attract clients to them. And that's really who I work with. Even though they're in different facets of business, it's still that person who's a personal brand. They are the face of their brand. And as an actor, I'll be hired for commercials, and become the representation for a company. And that's what we do. We don't want to do that in our own businesses.
Interesting.
It's like, we don't want to be just us, like a spokesperson. It's like, you actually are, like, your name is your company. Like, you are the face of your brand. That's not a piece that you can delegate. You can't outsource that. That's something that you have to take full responsibility and ownership for, and showing up in the way where, I mean, if you think about, have you ever watched a TV show or movie that's made you cry?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right. So the way in which we deliver things is potent. I mean, it's very critical to ensure that our performance aspect is matching up with what the audience needs to see for where it is that we need to take them. If we want to infuse hope into them, if we want to infuse connection through storytelling, that's going to change the way that it is that we share something. And that's a big piece of the process that I take my clients through, is not just understanding their story, their message, how it ties their offer, all of the video pieces with video marketing, where to post, how and when, the equipment pieces, because all of that can feel super overwhelming, but really their performance, how it is that they show up and they feel about it, and how good they are at it, because it's just a skill. It is simply something that can be learned and practiced with intention. I don't really believe in just practice until you finally 500 million takes later feel okay about it. Yeah. But actually, if you have, direction and a guide there to help show you how to get to that place of feeling, wow, like this actually, oh, I'm proud of myself. Like, I just did this hard, scary thing that actually feels good. And that is something that you'd want to keep doing time and time again, and creating more videos. So it's really working on helping them show up in a way that feels good and actually becomes captivating.
Oh, I love that. Something that you said that really struck me is, like, even before I'm posting or going on video, like, what is the emotion I want to elicit from them, and what story could I tie to that? Kind of like when I was writing my book, it was like, okay, here's the lesson. Now what story helps me get to this lesson? That's really huge. It's like a very much easier way to look at creating content, because sometimes that can be overwhelming too. So what is, I would love for you to maybe share one thing with the audience that's like maybe a tangible like takeaway that could really help them step into being more authentic on camera or in their posts, or just what is that connection piece? What's a tip you can give us around creating just a little more connection with our audience?
Yes. Oh, I love this. This is a great place to start, shifting that little switch inside of us. Think about your absolute favorite client to work with. Somebody who, no matter what, when you have an appointment with them, you're just like, oh, I can breathe. I'm relaxed. I'm excited, because you have this mutual respect and compassion and understanding. And you know that if you mess up or do something a little awkward or dumb or goofy or whatever, and you have grace around that. You feel like, they know that I'm helping them solve a problem anyway. Like they still love me anyway. Like, we're okay anyway. Think about that client that you feel safe around, right? And you feel like yourself, but your CEO embodied version of yourself. So I want you to have them at the forefront of your mind before you create any content. I mean, we hear this in like our ideal client avatar, but this has to be a true person that we know, and we can feel their presence in our energetic state when we think about them. If they do not exist in real life yet, that's when I want to go to the client avatar, but they have to be a name. They have to be known, somebody you can really feel. And then I want you to please write out their name on a sticky note and paste it just underneath the camera lens, just below the line. So it's, no one can see it but you. But that way their name is at the forefront of every single line you say before you say it. So I would be just like, showing up today, sharing a video tip with you, Lori. I'm really excited that you're here, Lori. Like, thank you, Lori, for being here. And I would just have your name circulating in my mind. Does that make sense? Yes. You're not saying it out loud, but it's at the forefront. That is going to shift the focus off of the pressure of you. And that's a really tangible way of how to do that.
So powerful. It's funny. We just went through some story branding and branding workshops today for Light Pink, and we named like 3 different characters. And it was really powerful for me because I took real people in my life and I'm changing their names to that. So I can be like, nope, that wouldn't fly with this girl. This message doesn't resonate with this one. what messages are a through line for all three. Like really, really awesome. I absolutely love that.
Hey everyone, I just want to take a second to remind you to drink your water. So whether you have worked out today, whether you're sitting at your desk, remember how important it is, because when we push our body hard or we're just feeling run down, it's so important to take care of ourselves with the proper vitamins and nutrients. That's why Liquid IV created Hydration Multiplier Plus immune support to maintain and strengthen your immune system. You guys, I've been using this in the morning with my workouts. I moved to Arizona. It is hot here and dry. And even if you're not in an area like I am, you're definitely going to want to stay hydrated. It's one of the first things that you'll notice if you start feeling fatigued, maybe mental clarity, your workouts aren't as good. It's probably because you are dehydrated. So I'm obsessed with it because it has vitamin C and it boosts my immune system as well while I'm drinking water. Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support is cutting edge blend of vitamin C, zinc, and Wellmune. It's in a convenient single serving packet and it helps strengthen your immune system. I know that you know vitamin C is well known to help protect your body and support good health. Zinc is the second most abundant trace mineral in your body and it supports immune cell health and function. And Wellmune is a naturally sourced beta glucan that's proven to help strengthen your immune system. So you guys, get your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support in bulk at Costco or order online and get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code HAPPY at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using the promo code HAPPY at liquidiv.com.
Okay, so what are some of your wins right now?
So thank you. Oh man, it's been super exciting because 2020 in this bizarre year, actually has been the first time that I've been able to fully now work for myself, which is like the best feeling ever. It's very exciting. And that's probably my biggest win that I'm celebrating, but it really is. I now have a lineup of different ways that I can help people where I have tiny offers. They're mini courses. They're more bite-sized, really focused. You know, the first introductory course I have is Become More Confident Boot Camp. It's really focusing on the confidence emotion piece of it. And then it leads into my comprehensive Captivate on Camera program. So I have these different ways of being able to help people based on where they're at and really what they need. And finishing those, getting those done, accomplished out there, and actually then having my full beta testers go through it and now relaunching it in a bigger way with the goal to scale feels absolutely amazing. It feels really exciting. I had this goal of doing 15 podcast interviews or something, and I've now surpassed 40 or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a takeaway, everyone. You have to get intentional.
Yes. Yeah, you really
book
do.
yourself on all of those?
No, I actually did get help. I had a podcast VA for 2 months, but they really helped get the ball rolling.
Yes.
It was such a weight off my shoulders, took a lot of that fear away.
Where'd you find your podcast VA? Can we ask?
Yeah, absolutely. Upwork.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
You guys, it's huge. Yeah. And it makes you show up, right?
Yes.
So big. Okay. And what were the wins from doing all of those podcasts?
Continuous invitations. It snowballs. It just continues to grow and expand upon itself. I got to organically test my funnels, my products, get clients in there. And then that led into actual speaking engagements at people's events. This is one of the questions that I'll have for you if we can get to it today, because last year I was able to do 8 speaking gigs. And this year already I have 10 and we're just in Q2. So that's a huge win for me. These are things that are just, I feel so blessed and so honored with them. And it's really, even though I can get stuck sometimes, I'm like, oh, why haven't I hit this goal yet? Why am I not there yet? I have all of these things that I want to do and accomplish. And why isn't it faster? If I go back and I look at those wins and just acknowledge that the effort that it took to get there and the intention is exactly right. It is so intentional that those steps actually did amount to something, to results, to real actionable things.
So that's a lot of hard work. And here's the thing that I want people to hear from this. This is I pray for people as one of the biggest takeaways, not only what, all of the awesome things that she does and potentially offers for you guys, but also, it sounds like, and we'll get into this question right now, but it sounds like you probably had some offerings when you got onto these podcasts, or you just said, hey, I want to get out there in a big way. And you hired someone who knew how to do that to get you on these shows. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of got to get your feet wet. Maybe some of the shows weren't a great fit and you had to like figure that out amongst the 40 different shows. And I mean, look at how many shows you had to do, you guys. That is like probably over 40. That's probably 80 hours of your time, like prepping, and mentally maybe 100 hours of your time.
Oh yeah.
That is a commitment. But look at all of the things now. If you guys are like, I want to speak, I don't know how to speak, like go book yourself on a podcast tour. It's a massive stage. It's a bigger audience, no matter how small the podcast, than most of us would probably ever get booked for. Mm-hmm. So, okay. I love that. And all you did was hire a VA from Upwork. I'm sure it wasn't too pricey or crazy because they have great prices over there.
Amazing help. Just be intentional with how you ask for what you need. Mm-hmm. And I do test projects with people too, and it just makes it so much easier. So
explain a test project real quick, and then we're going to answer your question.
Oh, sure. So I'll usually narrow down people to 3 to 5, and I'll do a paid test project. I know some people don't. I function better if I know that it's a paid test project. And essentially it'd be a mini version of what it is that I would need them to be doing. So anytime I've hired help for social media, I'll have them do like an Instagram grid, something like that. For a podcast, how would you pitch me? Like take a look at my pitch deck, like my information, my one sheet that I learned from you guys, actually from your Instagram content, is how I created my one sheet. And it's all the information and everything that we need. It's there. It is out there. Google it, search it on Instagram, search it on YouTube, what you were looking for, those answers. If it's not something extremely specific where you want direct feedback on, I mean, if it's like, how do I make a pitch for a podcast? That is searchable. So go search it, find it, put it together. It's not going to be perfect. You'll change it later. Don't stress about it. Just get it done and just do it. Put it out there. Yeah, hired 3 people on to do a creation of how would you pitch me? And then I picked the one that I was like, that's me. That resonates. Yes. And that's move forward. Just go, just do it.
So awesome. That's how we actually hire people here. So I love that you just did that. So we always give like a pre-project and decide if they understand our voice or what we're going for or not. So way to go, girl.
Yay.
It's so smart. It's such a good tip, you guys, for finding the right person. Okay. So your question on the speaking, tell me a little bit more and what the question is.
Yes, thanks. So a couple of the speaking events have been paid, but the majority of them are not. They're exposure, and it's, in exchange. I mean, it's amazing. It's almost hard to care, especially right now. I'm just so excited about all of these events that I get to be a part of, also because they resonate so much with me. And then it's usually like, well, maybe have access to some of the emails to at least send them an offer or something and still be able to get, my brand and brand awareness and everything in front of them. But I am wondering, at what point and then how do I switch to fully, maybe mostly or always or only paid speaking gigs?
You have to decide. This is such a good question. You have to decide what it is that you want to do what you want from the speaking gig. So it's usually, this is not always, because there are some people that once they reach a certain level, or maybe they've had a bunch of best-selling books and everybody knows them, they will get paid and can pitch. So that's kind of what you have to figure out right now, because people are either wanting to pay you for your expertise, and typically they don't. When you do that, they are expecting like an outcome, for their people, and experience, things like that. They typically don't love for you to get paid and do kind of this pitch.
Sure.
So what I do is most of the time, I do not ask for cash, but I will ask for, so my intention is, if it's the right audience, that's the only time I'll ever go and speak, is if I know it's an audience that I can convert in some way to be my audience. Like if it feels like a really great fit and I know that I can serve them with something. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the event host and say, hey, if I do this in a really loving way, am I able to share my offer right now? Or for right now, it's like, I'm probably going to be flying to a lot of events coming up really soon for Light Pink, because it's going to be the perfect audience fit. I'm going to say, hey, if I speak for free, can I offer X, Y, and Z, or can we do X, Y, and Z thing while we're there? Because my intention is I want those emails and I want to try to convert those people. A lot of times when I have been paid in the past to speak, especially if it's a higher price, it's like now, the interesting thing is once you start getting paid, you kind of feel this very different pressure. I even like, it's like,
I can't imagine
performance and like, what's the outcome that they want? And, you know, you feel a little less likely or a little less like you can just say, I know I have this great thing or this offer, or funnel people in, or really get focused on funneling people into the next place or the next steps that you want them to go. And obviously sales, if done right, you can teach the whole time and make it feel like a really loving act. And they do get a lot of like, they will get the most value out of it. So I think getting crystal clear on what that, if being a paid speaker is what you want, it really is. We have a friend named Seth Madison, and it is like, if you're going to be a paid speaker, it's almost like that's what you have to become. And that's what you have to become known for. Most highly paid speakers, either they don't necessarily go there to like pitch another program or something else that they're doing. It's kind of like they are a speaker. They're getting paid to take you on an extremely emotional journey. They're getting paid maybe for their star factor and this like emotional journey that they can take you on. And it just depends on the different levels of speaking. So I believe right now, and for majority of people, this really is majority of people, because in order to become a world-class speaker, that just takes such a certain level, which I believe that you could get to that level if that's what you want, especially with what you do. But it's a career, right? Like it's very career based. And I actually think, and especially because we know a lot of people who do this, if your goal is also to, make a much larger income, to maybe bigger impact or whatever you want, you may be better off even just charging a certain amount or travel or whatever this looks like, and negotiating in what it will look like to be able to do a pitch with some of your stuff. So like really talking about that and realizing that if you do really well, if you are a really good speaker and you know how to funnel people into the sales process, you're probably going to do way better pitching your stuff than asking for money at an event.
That makes so much sense. My God, I am so glad I asked this question. Thank you. The amount of clarity that just happened, simply hearing you go through that, one, fully release the pressure of, I have to be a paid speaker to really be a speaker. That's gone now. Whatever that was. Yeah. And like, I just noticed that come up.
I think I felt that
like,
for myself as well.
Real. Yeah. It's like, and then just, wow, that is not my goal. That is so not like the career that really gets me feeling super jazzed and excited. And that would conflict so much with part of the growth that I want to take my company to be, as a production company where I can create my own film content for festivals and distribution. And, like that really would not align and fit together, maybe way in the future down the line, but I can just, enjoy it and get to be part of these amazing events and experiences and share my offer and my gifts and hopefully help a whole bunch of people along the way without needing to be like, I want to go have a speaking career. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And I want to say one thing around it too, real quick, just to give just a second level of some people who might be like, well, we should get paid for all of the things we do. Yes. And it depends how you're choosing to get paid. So sometimes you are actually negotiating with them that you can pitch in a certain way so that you do get paid in a certain way. And you tell them that like, hey, I'm only accepting, like, I'll just have you pay for travel normally. And you value your speaking prices for your time. So normally I charge $15K or normally I charge $30K for this, especially if I'm gone for 2 days or whatever that looks like. But because this is my perfect audience fit, here is what I do. So here is my travel fees. Maybe you want first class accommodations and flight. And then because speaking is a real thing, you guys. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that's bougie. No. You need all of the nurturing and sleep and whatever else you can possibly get. You can't be tired on a flight. You can't have a flight that's delayed. A million different things like this, right? You need to be rested and on, because you're the sail.
Yes.
We're the thing that is going up there to help shift whatever it is that you've been hired to help shift or asked to do. So then you can say, here's what I want. You have this all in a sheet so that it is, professional, and it is a part of your package, like your speaking package. Now you will get to a point where if you speak enough, you can do both. Maybe it's, you factor that in at a discounted price, but this is what your time would cost no matter what, because there will actually come a time where you're like, it's actually more expensive for me to leave than to stay here and charge my courses. You'll get there faster than you think. It'll be like, it's actually more expensive for me to go and I lose money than to just sit here and put out another Facebook ad and get people in, or whatever that looks like. So then that's when you will factor in the price of and say, this is why it has to be this much, and I have to pitch once you get to that place where you're being desired and people know that you create a massive, transformation or shift for people.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm going to play this back and write all of that down. That's so helpful. Thank you. God,
yes. Good. I'm so glad. Well, this was so much fun. Thank you. Because I always just end up talking to myself through it. So, yeah, I'm so grateful for you. Where can we find you, follow you, all of that stuff?
Oh, thank you. My gosh, I feel so inspired right now too.
Good.
I love this. I'm like, what do I want to go do now? And so I'm mostly on Instagram at Kellsie_Moore, also on YouTube and Pinterest and LinkedIn. So if you have a preference, come say hi, please. I would so love it. And if this is okay, feel free to cut this out if it's not. But because I am just completely honored to be here, I did set up a 50% off for my boot camp, my Confidence on Camera boot camp for your listeners. All they need to do is
we can leave it in here. Go for it.
Awesome. I was like, I really want to respect this, so make sure that's all right. But I want to honor anyone who's listening to this thinking, oh my God, that's me. I really need to start showing up. I know this is the next step for my business, but it feels really scary. And I want to learn how to feel good about it and be actually good at it. So my Be Camera Confident Bootcamp bundle, you can get through it in a weekend. It's bite-sized and it's really, really potent. I have a 50% off deal for you. Just enter in code Lori Harder.
Awesome. You guys go check it out. Go check her out on Instagram. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so grateful for you. And until next time, everyone, earn your happy. Bye-bye. Hey all, I'm so excited to share with you, Earn Your Happy is now part of Growth Day Podcast Network. A bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and support shows and brands that we truly believe in. And one of my friends is also on the network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to his show. You guys, Trent Shelton has the most incredible podcast. It's called Straight Up with Trent Shelton, and it's going to remind you that you are built for this. I have heard Trent speak in person multiple times. I've listened to his podcast a ton. He's coming on the show, and I literally cannot wait because this man just spits straight fire. It is like truth that goes to your core and makes you take action right away. If you want one of those podcasts that when you're just out on a walk, you can't help but want to start running and run through a wall in your life, this is the show to go listen to. So you guys, make sure that you go subscribe to the show, Straight Up with Trent Shelton. You're going to love it.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true deep sense of community, and it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com. Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also has influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com.